possibly can. Thanks for making the time tonight. My name is Dida, as I said, Dida. I have the pleasure and honor of working with you guys throughout the rest of the 4 days with various guests that will be coming in. You are privy to the information that was shared before, that you'll be learning quite a lot on this upcoming Career Accelerator webinar. The team went on to find brilliant leaders in these particular spaces that will be willing and comfortable, and not just willing and comfortable, but also qualified to speak on some of the topics that they'll be talking about. Today is about CV building and optimization. I think this is something we've heard about quite a lot, and many of us might be interested in it. I am still a student. I'm in my second year, I'm in my first year, I'm still in my third year, I'm in my CTA, whatever that is. How do I structure my CV in such a way that it talks about experience I don't necessarily have up at work, but perhaps I may have shown that experience elsewhere. I need to be guided around how I can transform the experience I have, whatever it is, and put it in such a way that it counts in my favor when I go on to submit my CVs. Day one is about that. The second day will be about interview tips and skills. The moment you are called onto an interview, I think this is building up nicely. When you're called then onto interviews, after you've built such a compelling CV, you go on and learn how to interview. How do you go on and speak for yourself and sell yourself very well, but obviously within the confines of what you can do. The power of networking, how once you've been taken into any space, or in fact not even been taken in any space, to continuously build some spaces, to continuously build tables and form some chairs, to join into many different people. How do you network with people? And most importantly, what's the power behind that? What's the power of being able to use the networks that you have? And I believe many of the people that are in this call could potentially be of help at a point in your life. And how do we actually work around that? Day three will be around that. And the last day will be industry insights, I guess, building into all the knowledge that we'll have learned on the previous 3 days. How do we incorporate that into whatever industry we go into? How do we become multidisciplinary in our thoughts? How do I move from just being a finance or commerce person? I'm doing a bachelor's of commerce in accounting. Yay, great for you. But do you know anything about science? Do you know anything about ESG? Do you know anything about politics? Do you know anything outside of what you are currently doing? And I think that's what makes a lot of different professionals thrive, knowing beyond what you know. You don't necessarily need to be an expert, but you must know bits and pieces, and sometimes go the extra mile into knowing some of the things outside of your specific specialization. So then I was told that the guest for today is here to talk on CV building and optimization. But before I do that, I wanted to perhaps check if you guys are here and what your expectations are. I will not poke on anybody. I'd like perhaps if you can, those that can type in and share what you potentially expect to learn, perhaps first from this day one session that you're having on CV building and optimization, or perhaps broadly on the Career Accelerator webinar. Even better, beyond this accelerator webinar that we are having, what do you expect? What do you hope for? What would you like to learn? What is this thing that's outside of what you know that you'd like to add as part of the things that you know at the moment, so that you advance and become a different type of student, and student of life, not purely just a student of accounting or a particular course that you are doing in school at the moment. And so I was told that the guest is already here. She is a founder and CEO of a digital content agency called Third Eye. They work with personal and private brands. And I think with us being in this call, there are several personal brands. You yourself are a brand. Whether or not you are visible out there or you're putting yourself out there is not the question of branding. And I think this is somebody that will help quite a lot around that. And how do you take then the brand that you are and make it soar in the digital space? It's a dynamic Black African female-led solopreneur business. Under her leadership, they specialize in helping brands shine, and exactly what I've just said now. They make a lot of different brands shine, both personal brands as well as corporate brands. They've got hands-on approach and dedication to understanding each client and their unique goals have been consistently delivered outstanding results. There are several people that speak of the work they've done. I do know Ntsako myself. In fact, the last time I met Ntsako, if you remember, was Ntsako, this is to you, if you recall, was at the summit where Ntsako was reintroducing the CEO of the SABC. So I look forward to learning quite a lot from this. I do want to see a lot of those comments come in. You don't necessarily need to, shy away. You can, I don't know if you can put as anonymous if you want to. So make the time to do that and share your expectations, share your thoughts. What do you want to learn first from the session? If there's anything particular from the upcoming session, generally in the career accelerator program or the webinar that we're having, but also more broadly outside of these spaces, what is it that you want to put to action? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call then on the stage or the virtual stage Ntsako Writes for CV building and optimization.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
You are audible, madam.
How is everyone?
You are seeing thumbs up on the call. But sharp.
All right, it's good. I'm glad everyone is doing well. So my name is Ntsako Writes. I'll switch on my camera in a bit. Having some technical issues, but we're all good to go now. So to BCAT, thank you very much for this opportunity. I am very happy to be here. Been looking forward to the session. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll just set it up. Yeah, fantastic. But hi, this is me, Ntsako Writes. So I will be talking about maximizing CV impact and effectiveness. So by just show of hands, am I speaking to final year students only, or is there a mix?
How do you want reactions to that, madam?
Well, I just want to know, second year student. There's someone who's a second year student. All right, so then I'll take it as I'm speaking to a mixed bunch. It's a mixed bunch. All right, cool. So let us talk about your CV. And as Jida has already said, I do CV optimization, LinkedIn optimization, career coaching. Thank you very much for the introduction, Jida. So now I have some great giveaways for everybody on the chat. So I want you to talk to me. I like my sessions are often interactive. So please ask questions, raise your hands. I'll be giving away CV and LinkedIn reviews. And for anyone who's willing to have a go with it throughout the presentation as I am talking, on the side, try to create an elevator pitch, just a 1-minute summary of why I should hire you as an accounting intern at the Auditor General. And of course, there's been some news about that, but we won't go into that. But you'll be working for the public sector. So now where do you start? So your CV, it's not just a document, right? It's your personal marketing too. It's where it's the one thing that's going to sell you and is going to get you interviews. So just think if there are any entrepreneurs in the house, or if you know of anyone who is an entrepreneur, it's all about selling. And there's always like a disconnect. You're like, oh, if you want to make money, sell. But it's never been connected to, let me sell myself. How good am I? What do I know about myself? How can I convince, sell myself, or how can I say something about myself that will convince the next person that, you know what, actually, I do want to work with you. So that's where, that's how you should look at your CV. This is, I get about face card doesn't decline. So CV card also shouldn't decline in this regard. And so you must work very hard to ensure that it doesn't. So being in the job market and looking for a job is actually a job. And before you apply, right, there may be a lot of roles out there, and lots of open positions. But is it the job that you want? Is it where you want to go? Is it the company that you want to work for? What is the name of the role that you want to apply for? Are you looking for an accounting internship, or are you looking to do an article? So it is important to do the background before you go into applying and even creating your CV. So it's important to know, what role are you looking for? What is it called? And most importantly, are there open roles for that vacancy you're looking for? And even now the job market is changing. So titles and roles, put AI in the mix, it's all changing. The next 5 years, you might have an AI accounting specialist, or somewhere along those lines. There'll be titles with AI in them. And then you go in and you research the role that you want to go to. When was the last time someone was hired in this position? Is someone currently working in that position, within the company that's advertising the role, or in another competitor company as well? And also, are these vacancies, are they open in South Africa or in other parts of the world? But also, do you qualify for the role that you're trying to pursue? So then once you've answered that, now you go and structure your CV. It is known that your CV shouldn't have like one template that you apply to different roles in different companies. No, your CV should be tailored for the company, and also for each role that you apply for. It should be tailored for that. But what I will tell you is that if you know that you're going to apply for like an articles thing, an articles role, then you would have a CV, but then you would only change it slightly, because you're only applying for article roles, right? Unless if you're going for articles and then you're going into internships, or your bookkeeper, finance person, in like small companies, so on and so forth. I hope I'm making sense to you. So the first thing you need to do is you need to read the job description. It is important to read the job description, because your job description is actually your, what do you guys call it? It's not your cheat sheet. It's your memorandum, literally. It tells you how to pass. So you need to read it carefully, and you may not find everything that you are able to do, and that's fine. What you need to do is to then go on and highlight the key skills or the keywords and responsibilities that you know that you can do, right? And then once you put that aside, and then you go into your CV. Now you customize your content, right? It should speak to the company's way of writing. If they're using UK English, ensure that your CV doesn't come with organization with a Z, but organization with an S. These things are important. So you need to be very strict also in your approach in writing your CV for each and every application that you do. Okay, and then you need to quantify your achievements. I know that as people who are still studying, you don't really feel confident, or you don't really think you've achieved anything. So I worked with quite a few students as well. There's sports activities that you may have done. There's maybe you're a tutor. There's volunteer activities that you're maybe part of. So if you're doing any sports, if you're volunteering anywhere, or doing something extra on the side, You can put it in there, and you should actually put it in there. However, do not just say I am the head coach at a netball, for a netball club. You should frame it in a way that it speaks to the role. So there, what are you learning? Because there are a lot of soft skills that you are learning as you are either volunteering or working part-time, or playing sports. There's leadership there, there's conflict management, there's also collaboration, teamwork. So those are just the things that you will need to have in place once you get into the job market. And then your CV. So things that should go into your CV is, of course, your contact information. We are Gen Z. Okay, you are Gen Z. So you should have your LinkedIn profile. What does your LinkedIn profile look like? Are you happy with it? Is it selling you? So your LinkedIn profile is the number one place where employers will look for you. And it's also the number one place you will go to look for jobs also. It's a good place to create networks, to meet people like Dida, to meet people like the BCAT network, Mr. Paul, Ntsako, you guys. So ensure that even if you're not on Facebook or on Twitter or on TikTok, or even if you don't like those, or if you are active in those, consider LinkedIn as well. Build a profile, build a network there. Because what you share on Facebook and TikTok and whatever doesn't have to go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we are strictly professional. We're sharing what we can do, how we can do it, so on. And then once you have added your contact information, you need your personal statement, the summary. So this is where you tell them, dude, I am a bag of chips. You need me. This is what I can do. I am all that. What are you waiting for? This is where you would sell yourself. So you would say, so me, I do social media management, right? So some of the things that I do say is that, so me, I'm a social media manager. I ensure that brand visibility and brand identity is at brand visibility is at its highest through strategies that ensure customer. All right, let me start over. So my name is Ntsako Writes. I'm a social media manager. I implement strategies that ensure your company shines. And through these strategies, I have seen companies go from 100 to 1,000 followers in a space of 6 months. I can do that for you. I'm ready to take your business to the next level. When do you start? So somewhere along those lines. And then you would include your work experience / volunteer experience. Do not put your work experience and your volunteer experience under the same heading. Then you would put your you guys would start with education and certification. Of course, it depends on if you do have work experience. If you do have work experience, you would put it before education and certifications. But if you don't, then you would highlight your education and your certifications. Then you would put in your skills, your awards, and recognition. These are things that you would put in, not in this order, of course, based on how you feel the role how you would best fit in the role. So maybe you might say, after putting in your summary, you put in your skills, and then you put in your awards and recognition. So under awards and recognition, you would put some of the group work that you have done, some of the assignments that you have done and you did well in. That's where this awards and recognition would go in. And also there's a thing called ATS, and ATS stands for Application Tracking System. So this is what HR managers use to ensure to actually check and verify if this person's CV fits the job title or if they're suitable for this role. So before even someone gets to see your CV, it goes through the system. That's why I say face card doesn't decline. CV card doesn't decline. So when you do write your CV, when we talk about relevant keywords, these are keywords that are, of course, in the CV or keywords in the job description, and also keywords that your industry uses. So finance or task management, payroll, uh, software, some of those keywords, those terms that are found in your field or in your industry. And of course, you'd use the ones that are in the job description, but also feel free to also Google and research some of the other keywords, because I mean, if you're going to put it online, company X isn't the only one that's going to view your CV, especially if you put it on LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn profile also, you must make sure it is ATS approved. When so your about section, your work experience, any projects that you'll put in there, your volunteering experience, because your LinkedIn profile, it needs to speak to what you want to do. It's not a shot in the dark. We're not doing shots in the dark anymore. Shots in the dark do not work. They don't work anymore. They used to work, but after COVID, the entire job market's changed. Now, HR is more focused on who they want, and this is how they find who they want, through the relevant keywords and through having wording and also titles, so job titles and all those things. They tell them that this is the person that we're looking for. So in your LinkedIn headline, you would say Tato L. Sorry for picking on you. You would say accounting professional. Then when HR is searching it at the back, when they say search for accounting professional, then your name would come up. Auditor, Paul's name comes up, so on and so forth. So that is why your LinkedIn profile, it needs to have that. You are still young. And so for graduates, I always tell them that your CV, it should be, not just CV, your LinkedIn profile. It should tell me your qualification and where you want to go. And I know as you are studying, it's kind of hard. Maybe some of you know that, tomorrow I want to be an auditor, or I want to be a straight-on accountant. Maybe you do know, some of you do not know. So you can say aspiring CASA. That's what one of my clients did the other day. So he's put aspiring CASA on his profile. So your profile, you would have, of course, your profile picture on LinkedIn. I'm talking about LinkedIn now. You need a very good profile picture. You don't have to take it professionally. A lot of our phones take very good pictures. And I know Gen Z, they're also very good when it comes to that aspect. And you also need a banner. So the banner is what's in the background. If I click on your profile, I see your profile picture, and then I also see like a picture at the back, or like a banner or an image at the back, something at the back that tells me more about you. So it could say CASA or auditor in training, something like that. Then you have your about section. It tells me what you're qualified in, what your passion is, what any work experience you have, and a little bit of what you achieved. So LinkedIn, you can go all out. There are so many words. You have all the words in the world, in the dictionary, that you can use on LinkedIn. But I do advise for you to keep it short, also keep it sweet, get to the point. And so there are 3 things that your LinkedIn profile should tell a recruiter. Number 1, this is what you need to decide what your LinkedIn is going to tell the recruiter. Number 1, are you results driven? Number 2, are you a thought leader in your industry? And thought leadership doesn't mean that you are 20 years in the industry. You're someone who knows what's happening in the industry. But be someone who talks about what's happening in the industry. Not long ago, Eguruleni, that guy who was shot, gunned down, you can come in and talk about the importance of ethics in your profession. Like, why? Why do you need to be ethical as accountants? There are many topics that you can actually talk about when I think about the Eguruleni guy who was murdered just recently. And then the next thing is just having a profile that says This is me, Paul Masabula. I'm an accounting graduate. I want to be a CASA. And you end up there. And then ensure there are no spelling mistakes. And there are a lot of acronyms in your industry. So the first time you use an acronym, you need to spell it out and then you put in brackets the acronym. Then the second time you use it, you just go with acronyms and abbreviations. People in your industry will, of course, understand it. And don't forget to proofread. It's important to proofread. Mistakes, spelling mistakes, do get people rejected. Even though we are all human, but the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. And then these are things that you should never do in your CV, okay? Spoke about spelling errors, ensure the format is clean, there's white space, everything. It should be like in a line. So do not have graphs, do not have tables. We do not do that anymore. And do not add irrelevant information. Do not add your ID number. Do not tell me you live at 123 Oliver Tambo Street. No. Just say Johannesburg, South Africa. And also ensure that you're tailoring the CV. Please do not lie. People have gotten fired for lying. Intent, SAPS brigadier, not so long ago. Also, something you could also talk about there. And also, don't just put the job description. The job description tells you, I want you to add these numbers. I want you to create spreadsheets. I want you to create reports from these spreadsheets. So do not put the responsibilities from your job description just as they are. Rather frame them as like an achievement, saying, through the reports I created, we were able to reduce overheads by 10%. Through calculating 1 + 1, I was able to ensure that the books balance. You guys are still young in the game, you're still sharpening your muscle. So do put your achievement in there. So frame your responsibilities in a way that shows that you've achieved something in your role. And also avoid weird email addresses, shady links. So if you have a website or even putting your Facebook profile, don't put it there. They will search in the background for you on Facebook, but do not put any unprofessional contact information because ATS will kick you out. The person will not even look at your CV. ATS will kick you out. So that is me. This is what I do: CV branding, LinkedIn optimization, and interview coaching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask before we get into our competition. If we have any questions.
Of course, all questions can definitely come in and we can take comments on that or raise hands or anything at all. You can just unmute if you'd like to ask any questions at all. Thank you so much, Ntsako. Truly appreciate the information that you shared with us. I mean, there are some questions in the comment section as well. We will engage with those colleagues. So make sure you drop your comments as they come. And some thoughts, some reflections I do see in the call. It's not purely just students that are there. We do have some professionals at various sectors and industries and all. Ntshepang, your hand is up. You can come in, Ntshepang.
Everyone.
Hi.
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, the question that I have is regarding cover letters and motivational letters. Do you attach it, like make it one document with your CV, or is it something you can send? It can be a different document. And another question is the reference list. When it comes to the reference list, what is the maximum and the minimum number of references you can have on your CV?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
All right. Well,
Ntsapeng. I guess, sorry, Ntsako, just to add, I think to add on Ntapeng's question around the cover letter itself, when we send out, whether in your answer now, whether it will be included in the CV or not, do we send these out as PDF or Word documents? Those are some of the questions that we'll find ourselves having. Am I
Okay.
sending it out as a Word document? Am I, saving it as PDF? By the way,
Okay.
we're seeing you twice because you're sharing the screen of Teams, so you can definitely answer.
Sorry, I'm looking at the question. Sorry. I'm thinking, oh, wait, let me try and do this. Sorry about that.
I thought you were making a statement there that we're not seeing you enough.
Oh. Okay, because I'm trying to get to Harry and also Theodora. I see their questions here as well. Sorry, ma'am, I didn't get your name. What did you say your name was? The lady who was talking about cover letters and referees.
It wasn't Ntsapeng.
Okay, all right. So when it comes to cover letters, if they ask for it, you do send it. Do not create one document with everything. Create separate. Have one document for your cover letter, another for your CV, another for your qualifications, and also name them the same. So you will say Ntsapeng cover letter, Ntsapeng CV, Ntsapeng qualifications, and they should be in PDF. And also, if they ask for, especially recruiters will ask for PDF or Word. But if you're uploading it, it should always be in PDF. Then referees, owing to the POPI Act, you do need to inform the people that you're going to put in your CV. You do need to inform them that I've put you as a reference, please, just FYI. And maximum 3, unless if they ask for more. But always under referees, always put available upon request. But if the job description says, I want your cover letter, I want your qualifications, and I want 3 references, please send that information. Do not leave out any information, because leaving out information does get people rejected.
Thanks, Ntsako.
And then,
oh, sorry. Please continue, madam.
No.
I thought you were closed.
Go ahead. I wanted to address Harry and Theodora.
Please do. Yes, I wanted to actually say that we've noted your hand, Nkosivumile. I was actually about to suggest you do that, Ntsako, to deal with some of the questions that are on the chat, since they'd been there before. I noted even above there may have been some before, just the 2 that you were seeing. If perhaps you could deal with them in bulk, so perhaps just if we could just deal with them in bulk, and then we can take Nkosivumile's hand after, and anybody else that comes up with a hand. And comments, you can definitely do that. Thanks, Ntsako.
Okay, Mr. Harry, I hope you are well. You're talking about a particular structure or format we should use or prevent. So like I was saying, I'm gonna share now a typical example. It's good to put some personality in your CV, so like minimal color, but I will share it in a bit to show you what I mean. Okay.
And in the meantime, while you do that, Ntsako, I'd like to appreciate as well what Linda is doing on the call. There is Linda Ndungane on the call as well. She is one of the speakers that are coming up on some of the days. She is helping out as well with responding to some of the questions and perhaps share some of her thoughts to the points. Yeah, please continue, madam.
All right, cool. Then Theodora asks, won't describing the responsibilities make the CV too long? Yes, and so yes, most job descriptions, they go on and on. So you can have 10 bullet points or more, right? Your job is to now extract the ones that you can do and the ones that you have accomplished. So you wouldn't change all 10 job points, bullet points. You wouldn't change all 10. You would only take the 5 or the 8 that would speak to your capability. Okay, I'm struggling to find the CV here because even in that CV, we don't have many things. And most of my clients, they do query this, that I've put here 5 bullet points that tell me exactly what you can do and how you can do it, right? But then they come back and they say, but I mean, it's only 5 bullet points. I mean, are you sure this really sells me? So no, you wouldn't put 10 bullet points in a tailored CV. You would only put the top ones that speak to what you have done and what you have achieved. That shows that you are good for this job. I hope that makes sense.
Thanks, Ntsako. Are you taking more questions from I think let's take Mame's one, the one about the maximum number of pages, and then we take Nkosivumile on the hand.
Okay, cool. All right. Mame is asking the maximum number of pages. You guys are still very young, so I'd say 2 to 3 pages where you are right now. But I mean, as you go, get more and more trained, get your foot in the mud and all of that in your industry. 4 pages is usually the maximum, unless if they have asked for your detailed CV and now you need to go into every single role that you have worked in. But this is really for people who are way, way deep in their industries, 20 years, 25 years, then who would put everything. But 2 to 3 pages should be good enough. And even if your CV is 1 page, as long as it sells you well and you are happy that it sells you well. I mean, read it loudly to yourself, ask someone else to read it, don't ask your parents or your cousins, because I mean, they'll say, wow, this is a really great CV. But ask an external person to read your CV. And then we go see me, right?
Correct. Yes. We'll continue in the chats just before you enter, Nkosivumile. We'll continue in the chats, colleagues. Please do drop any questions, thoughts, reflections you have. As I mentioned, I'm seeing some professionals as well in the chat as part of us. Please do share some of those nuggets as well that you have on your side, and let's learn from each other. That cross learning, there's a lot that we can learn from you, and Ntsako can learn quite a lot from a second year student as well. So that cross learning, let's continue to engage. They will definitely come back on those chats in the comment section. Nkosivumile?
Hi everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So, you mentioned something, right? When you were doing a presentation, that you don't have to necessarily put any links such as your Facebook or Instagram in your CV, and you said that like the employer normally would basically do that during screening and stuff and check your social media. So I want to ask that, because this generation of ours, I will include myself there, we are on social media, right? We've got opinions, we've got ideas, and we post stuff when we're trying to have fun, and we comment on things, on political issues, on trends, whatever. So what do you think? You can say it is not something good to do on social media to keep your job hunting process easier. Because if they go then check your social media, what is that one thing that you say? If they go check your social media, that can also block you from getting that particular job. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do we have any more hands? Or then we're gonna go to the we'll go to the. Okay, cool. So personal branding has become quite a thing in the past few years. How you present yourself, whether online or in front of people, physically, has become very important. So I would say maintain respect, maintain be honest. Authenticity is important, to be authentic in what you post and what you share. I mean, even if you are if you are so angry, you know, that they killed a whistleblower, for example, the guy from Eguruleni. There's no need for profanity. You can still share your anger I guess in a not so harmful way, in a more respectful way, without you probably offend people, but without being rude or disrespectful towards them. Because you could say like, Ekurhuleni, bunch of incompetent people who don't know how to do their job, but do you actually have evidence of that? Do you actually know that? You know, so just tread carefully in also how, even if the good moments are there, if you're sharing about your family or your personal stuff also, just maintain respect for yourself and also your audience. Do not be afraid, of course, to share your opinion. I would say do share your opinion, but also screen it also, so that it doesn't sell you off as like crass, you know, because people have been fired because they said something wrong. But also, if you are gonna go into a job, you didn't hear it from me, but block your managers, block your colleagues. It's fine if they're on LinkedIn, but if you're very private and personal, keep them off Facebook, keep them off TikTok.
Thanks, Ntsako. Thanks a lot for that. There was a question about, describing your responsibilities on the CV not being too long. Will it not make it too long? But I think Ulinda on the chats actually got a nice reminder back to what you were talking about. It is actually important to focus on the impact and the strengths that you got. Most importantly, the power skills. Now it's called power skills. Used to be soft skills. The soft skills that you learned from some of these responsibilities that you had. The specific things that shine out, essentially. I think that's the summary of her response to that question. And I'm hoping, Theodora, that you got the response to that the focus should rather be on the impact you had, the strengths that you got. You don't want to have sentences and paragraphs explaining, what you got from some of these responsibilities you had, either within a student organization or volunteer work and all of that stuff. There is a nice comment there that I liked so much from Chloe Gordon. Hi all, I'm currently in matric and I'm working to putting my CV together. What are the most important aspects that should be included, even though I don't have much experience? And you were speaking quite a lot, Ntsako, to undergrad students that perhaps have the opportunity to be in student, in student chapters, to go on and be things like that, Toastmasters and all. But somebody that is in high school that will definitely not have any idea at all, but perhaps he is looking into working on their CV so that they get a job for whatever reason they need a job for. I'd like you to tie that together with the other comment about whether it is wise to use CV templates from the internet or should we create from scratch. And I think that ties to the other comment about, or the question about Canva. Can I use Canva? I guess that's part of the internet part as well. So let's talk matric. And how to build a CV without any experience at all. All you know is school and perhaps some of the sports you play, if you play any sports at all, and the parts about the templates, whether I can just do online including Canva.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Awesome. So Dida, you have said most of what she should do. Chloe, the woman, right? Yeah. So yes, you are right in that she must put in the volunteer experience that she might have, her qualifications. Of course, in matric, I know throughout your schooling career, you do have some projects. There are some team exercises that you do. So if there are any of those projects or any assignments that you did also that you feel stood out for you or that you performed really well in, put those in and say why you like them. So you would say they helped you with, what did you call them, Dida? You call them not hard skills, not soft skills.
Power skills. Power skills. Yes, power.
So now with these power skills, you're ready to go in and work and make a difference in the organization. You should be you don't make it seem like, you are, I don't want to say begging, but you are like you don't have anything to offer. No, no, no. So you would put down these soft skills and say, I am ready to bring these in to bring a change in the organization. What kind of change? To bring transparency, to bring honesty. These are important values most organizations have and thrive and live by. So also look at those aspects as well. But of course, if you're really not sure, please just follow me, send me a message, DM me. We can get into a session and we can really extract the good parts of your CV that you can use for the job that you want to apply for. This is Chloe. And then there's CV templates and Canva. So the templates, they are there to help you, honestly. It's why I was saying personality. It's you use minimal color. Let me share this. I do use Canva. The CV templates, I think you should. There's no need to start from scratch. If you're going to start from scratch, it means you're using a Word document. So let me share my screen now. No, it's not working. So yes, do use the CV templates. They do make it easier. They do make it easier. And also, you don't have to just use the format of one CV, You can look through through the different options that they give you. You can copy from this one and then copy something from the other one. So CV templates, it's a muscle that you get to build over time. And accounting, the ones that I've seen in the accounting fraternity is black and black, and that's what I've seen. You are seeing the wrong screen. How do I switch it off, Gina? I'm not sharing this one. Share this, no.
Is that so? Because on our side, it's still showing, I think you shared a window and that window became team. So just unshare everything and go back to reshare that specific window of the CV that you are talking about. In the meantime, while you do that, colleagues, please do continue to engage in the chats as well. I'm seeing some fascinating thoughts and advice as well on some of the questions that we had. As I mentioned, we may definitely learn from one another. There are some brilliant responses there to some of the questions, some of the fascinating questions, Ntsako, that I wanted you to get to, that I think Linda has already gotten to, is, do we put pictures on? Because somebody wonders, hey, to what extent do I put a picture of mine there? Is it a matter of relevance of my face? Should they see me? Should they not? And again, to that same question around LinkedIn, the right picture. I may not have pictures to put on a CV. Is that necessary? But I think Linda has responded to that quite well. Yeah, let's see you now. I think now that your screen is showing.
Yeah. So this is just an example of, minimal color. We have the orange, it speaks to his personality. He's in the IT field. He was also fresh from varsity. He got an internship and he hasn't done much, but we were able to extract some of the good things he has done. So he's the second best intern and he was recognized for this. So small things. A lot of us, we do not really realize that we're doing great things. And that is why I have sessions with my clients to extract these things. Because you'll just take your job description and then you vomit it out. You take your CV and then you just vomit out the job description. No. Let us talk about, so you were at UJ. Let's talk. What projects did you do? What assignments did you do? What came out of that assignment? What did you like? What didn't you like? So also have an assessment also of your work/school history. and ask yourself these questions. What did I really like about this subject? Why didn't I like it? Why am I then applying for a job in this thing that I didn't like? But then also, what can I bring to this role with this thing that I do not like? So it's really a deep dive into what you're studying, what you have done, because a lot of us, we forget, and it's okay. And what is not okay is that we don't pat ourselves on the back. You do need to pat yourself in the back. So also when you do actually sift through, it's also a confidence boost, because then you're like, damn it. Then photos on CVs do not, as I said, ATS, it does not want your photo, it wants the keywords. So if you do the keywords,
Sorry, Ntsako, will you kindly mute Lillian Pateng? Will you kindly mute? Thank you. Please continue, Ntsako.
Yeah, so no photos, do not put a photo. Standard, ensure there's white spaces also, so it's easier to read. And transfer. So here, his LinkedIn profile isn't up and running yet. So we do not have his LinkedIn profile here, but we have his details. So if your LinkedIn is ready and you're happy with it, do not share your LinkedIn profile if it's non-existent. If you do not have a profile picture, do not. Rather leave it out than to share it. But then once it gets to HR, they open it and like, what am I looking at? Right? And then the other question, what was the other question?
Of the other questions on the chat, new ones.
Yeah. The font. So you would use the font that the company uses in the job description, same as the language use. Like I said, US English versus UK English, you would put that in. You would, of course, tailor according to that. So this Tebogo asked about volunteer experience and certification. You are volunteering, it is part of your work experience. What you are putting in there is the work that you have done. And evidence, if they need it, they will ask for a certificate or a reference. But yeah, if you just put in there your impact and what you have done as you were volunteering. CV formats, which app should we use? There are so many, but I like Canva. Canva is easy. It has over 10,000 templates, and it's also free. It's also free. There is also CV resume.oi and .ai. But of course, those you pay a subscription for. You have a 30-day free trial. I mean, you can Google them and then you just replicate wherever you are creating a CV. And honestly, today's CV doesn't need bells and whistles, roses. Just a simple, basic design will get you in.
All right. And I think we can take a couple of the last questions as we close, and Ntsako. I'll bundle them for you. There is a question around, and I think this is one of the key questions to have. When you list your skills, should you go on and further explain those skills as well? And Tebogo mentioned an example there of saying, I'm good in public speaking, and I'm going to write that there. Should I explain that, oh, I'm part of a debating team to try and substantiate what I mean by that skill? There is another question as well from it's still Tebogo as well, there around having it rough with qualifications. To explain that, the difficulties that I had in my qualification, how do I address the fact that we don't all finish fresh in the 3 years that we're supposed to do whatever course we're doing in the 3 years that I'm supposed to? I had an extra or 2 or 3 or even 4 because of various reasons. How do I go around working on that? And perhaps if you could give your last thoughts and parting shots and on your side as we conclude, that would be lovely. And colleagues, as we said, we are continuing to engage. There's still the Accelerator webinar continuing. Ntsako is still accessible as well beyond this. And please do continue the conversation happening. Most importantly, take some of the things that we can practically apply. Ntsako? the thoughts around skills. How do I expand on skills, as well as the qualifications, different finishing times?
Okay, so with your skills, you would just put the public speaking, and debate team, then you would put it as a type of experience or as a project. Because then you would say, I was in this debate team with X, I was participating from this time to this time, and that's where I learned my skills. But you should say if like how those public speaking skills helped you. So in the debate team, did you win? Did you come second place? Something that is quantifiable or verifiable. You know, so as a public speaker now, are you able to persuade people? You know, your team, were you able to support your team members? You know, things like that. I love your question, Tabitha, about qualifications. Do not be too honest. Do not volunteer information that they didn't ask for. Being too honest will get you rejected. Don't volunteer information. They said, what is your qualification? Don't go in, oh, for 2 years I dropped out and then I came back. I did 2 modules, but then one. No. The question was, what is your qualification? I'm a qualified accountant. That's it. You can go in and say, my qualification, I am able to do 5, 6, 7, 8. And with this qualification, I know I can better your company, add in how their company values align to what you can do. Do not be telling them that, oh, it was so hard. Oh my God, I got a D. No, don't volunteer information they didn't ask. Do not volunteer any information they didn't ask. I'm going to say it again. Don't volunteer information, especially information like this it won't sell. It won't sell you. This will say, no, I do not want you. Let's move on to the next candidate. No, your job is to sell yourself when you are there. You are going there not to tell them your life story. No, you're going in there to tell them that, you know what, I'm qualified, I can do this. Where do I start? And then, unfortunately, we can't do the elevator pitch. And I really wanted to to hear some of your thoughts, unless if we can.
What's
MC?
the thought? What's the plan, Ntsako? Please, by all means, do indulge. I think we can give in an extra 5-10 minutes, hopefully.
Okay, please show of hands, guys. I need hands. We only have like 5 minutes. So let me share. What am I doing? Yeah, the elevator pitch. Sell yourself. 1 minute. Okay, 30 seconds.
What's the show of self? Are people reacting, or are they raising their hands?
They're raising their hands. I'm trying this. Can you see the competition time? Elevator pitch. Why
Okay,
should I hire?
You've got some hands there rising. I saw. Okay, they went down again. I think people are probably just trying to react when they are wanting to raise their hands. What do you want, Ntsako? Let's give you the chance again. You want people to raise their hand for? So you'll ask them to
Sell yourself. Tell me, why should I hire you? Here's my timer.
Why should you be hired?
I need a timer. Dida has given us 5 minutes graciously. I need to tell me why should I.
And one asks, what's the prize? Lovely has her hand up.
Oh, okay.
Lovely has their hand up. I think that hand went down. There's Bridget coming up again. Bridget? 60 seconds, Bridget.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Let me do this.
Can I start?
Why should I hire you? Why should they hire you? Maybe that's not the reason.
Please mute Lebohile.
Why are you acting like I need you more than you need me?
Lebohile, please mute. Thank you. Can Bridget start, Ntsako?
Yeah. Just going back to someone asked about the prize. So here's
Okay.
Bridget, whenever you are ready, go. Your time starts now.
Okay, I believe that with the qualifications that I have, which is currently diploma in accounting and also currently busy with an advanced diploma in accounting, I believe that the skills that I have developed in my years of studying has given me the necessary skills to be hired for the accounting intern position, and also the experience that I have gained, which is currently working as a tutor and also working with people, being a peer mentor.
There was Mslepe as well. Wonder if their hand is still up. You can go in Mslepe and Lovely, you can follow after.
Okay, hello everyone, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Well, I'm not really good with speaking and all that stuff, so I'm just gonna give it a shot.
Go for it.
I'm a very driven person and open to learning, and given my accounting background and my experience from partaking in vacation works, I believe I'll be an asset to the company. I believe in accountability and transparency, which is only very important for this type of work. Considering the fact that I will be dealing with government-related work, this is very important as the people are putting their trust in us. I'll be delighted to be part of your company and make a positive impact.
That someone says they're not good and they're going to be good. Both of you ladies were brilliant. Thanks, Mslepe. Lovely, Louisette.
I'm not sure if you can hear me.
We can, Lovely.
All right. So the reason why I believe I would be a favorable candidate for this position is because based on my expertise, I'm currently a final year student doing a BCom in accounting degree. I've gained knowledge on how to work with the accounting and the ethics of the company. I also have a lot of work experience in terms of I am an aspiring entrepreneur. I have my own business. I've worked in bookkeeping. I've not only done VAC work, I've worked as an accounting intern for about 3 months. And I believe that I can be of an advantage to your company, not only with the experience that I have, but also the boost that I can offer in terms of taking the company to greater heights. I'm going to stop there.
Lovely stuff. Kudos. Thanks, Lovely.
Yeah,
That is brilliant. Absolutely. Mslepe's hand is up. I don't know if you want to go again. But I think any other hand at all from somebody. I see as well the distribution of the gender there is not as equal in Ntsako. So you find and you see the people that go for the shots indeed, that just go for it at any point. You get to realize before we get into the world of work. But yeah, I think those are the three people that you had. How do you propose going forward?
So the one I saw, the one who participated, it was Tebogo. He or she had a lot to ask, a lot to say in the chat. Tebogo, are you there? So I would like to. Tebogo, are you?
Hello.
Ah, it's a girl again. Where are the guys? Paul, are there no guys here?
There are various gentlemen. They're probably preferring to take the back seat. They'll come up as the Career Accelerator warms up, perhaps in day 2, 3 as the time goes. But that's Tebogo there.
Come on, gents. Come on, gents. Guava will save you somewhere else, not at the job industry.
No, if they're still warming up, that's also okay. That's also okay. It's fine. So, Tebogo, I will thank you for participating. Actually, thank you to everyone who participated. I really appreciate it. Great feedback, great questions. You guys are very smart, very intelligent. I see you are a better student than I was because I wasn't asking these kind of questions during my time. We are warming up. Yes, yes. So, Tebogo, I will give you the CV review, and then Ms. Lepe, I will give you the LinkedIn profile review. Please reach for Paul. Please send me their contact details.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations to all the people that were chosen for that, and hopefully those that went will get an opportunity to be chosen for something else. And even that Ntsako can have a bigger heart and come back in some of the upcoming days. As we mentioned, there's quite a lot that we have in store. Today went over by an extra 11 minutes, but I believe that was absolutely worth it. Thanks a lot, Ntsako, for coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, Ntsako Writes is Ntsako Writes everywhere. I believe that's the case, Ntsako, right? You are Ntsako Writes everywhere. There is a question surely about what does Writes mean there at Ntsako? Is that your last name? But I think that invites you to come back again on some of the upcoming sessions. Day 2 will be interview tips and skills. Now that you've put your CV forward, please do continue to engage on this. It's not the end of this conversation. Continue to engage on this. Continue to get in touch with Ntsako Writes. Continue to get in touch with each of us as well. Everybody that was on this call definitely has something that they can teach the other person. I've mentioned that cross and multidisciplinary learning from one another is important. There's so much more that we can teach each other beyond just what we are studying at school, our areas of specialization. Once you've put up all your CVs and you are hopefully invited for an interview, tomorrow's lesson will help quite a lot on how you can tackle and prepare for interviews. How do you present yourself on the day of the interview, and how do you deal with whatever result comes then thereafter? Day 3 will be the power of networking, and 4 will be industry insights, that multidisciplinary thinking coming together and talking cross your specialization once again. So thank you very much for making the night and being here, and hopefully it can pay out for you in your own future, and that you can teach somebody else as well. Sometimes we are in spaces where ourselves are not going to necessarily benefit because we already know some of these things, or perhaps we're not going to use a certain type of knowledge, but it may be important to pass on to someone else as well. So look at it from all angles, being a positive experience, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Ntsako, thank you very much. And to the team that organized this, really appreciate it. Maswule, I don't know if you coming in and closing it off on our side. Yeah, I think you wrote there as well. You might as well just unmute and say that, because we'd like to jump off. So you can unmute yourself and close it up. But it was lovely. I think we'll meet again tomorrow on my side. Maswule?
Thank you very much, Dida, and thank you to everyone for the constant attendance and participation. It shows a lot that people are learning, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Great
With
stuff.
that, I'll be good night.
Lovely stuff. Good night. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow at 18:30.
Bye-bye.